What up, what up, what up?
Let's get ready to rumble.
Oh, yeah.
We're just all fucking discombobulated. We take a week off and we forget what the hell we're doing.
Yeah, I know. Jesus Christ.
All right, now, are you ready to do it now? Let's do it now.
Yeah, let's do it now. There we go. That was much better.
Jesus, what a clusterfuck right from the start.
I know. Jesus.
Yeah, we can't do shit. So what's going on, Grant?
Nothing much, man. How you been holding up?
We've been holding up. I feel like we've done a fairly good job of holding up.
Yeah, I would say so. Made it through the holiday. Well, one holiday.
One of the holidays. Yeah. Well, and that leads me to probably the number one burning question that people aren't asking, and that is, where were we last week?
Yeah, exactly. Well, I was busy with my 17 Thanksgivings that I had to go to, and I'm sure you were as well.
I wasn't. I was actually just waiting on you to become available to do the podcast.
Oh, okay. Well,
but yeah, so we did. We took a week off. Grant does have several families that he is obligated to spend time with. And because of that, it didn't work. The schedules didn't mesh.
No, it did not work this week.
So that wasn't our intent. The next time that something like that happens, we'll try to convey that better instead of just not being there.
Yeah, that was pretty bad.
Yeah, because I mean, I had probably 0 people asking me, where the fuck are you guys?
Yeah, exactly.
Why did I not get my episode 5? But we're here now. Episode 5 is happening in this very moment. We got quite a bit going on here on the table. We've got 17 different drinks that we're drinking right now.
We do, yes.
Because we started with Sam Adams Fizzy Ipton Willy Wonka beer.
Probably should have brought the glass of beer.
Because I already forget what the hell it is. I'm going to say Fizzy Ipton drinks.
It was like, shit, I forget. Let me look it up.
It's tasty. It's part of their winter holiday pack, and it is a spiced beer. I can tell you that.
Yes, it is very delicious.
And I do believe it says it has fizzy or izzy or chizzy in the name of the beer.
Yeah, here we go. I got a picture of the pack. Let me see here. I believe it is Old Fezziwig. I think that's it.
Well, there you go. It's the Fizzy Ipton drink. I was fucking right the entire time.
You were close.
So we started with drinking that, and then we brought these to the studio, but then we're like, well, shit, we got to crack the beer for our very inbred opening of opening a beer. And so now we have our customary Busch Light Apple, as well as our Fizzy Upton drink, and then we've got a satchel of beers.
We do,
and I believe that I also see some moonshine that we're going to be reviewing later. So we have a lot going on. There's just a lot going on the table right now. So it's been a couple weeks since we last got together here.
Yes, and it really sucks that we had to do that, because our last episode, it was probably one of the best episodes we've ever had.
Agreed.
And we really dropped the ball on the audio on that one.
Oh man, the audio. Jesus Christ. I was so upset because it was, I feel like, our best episode to date. I thought that it flowed very well. There was a portion where we were giving $1 million to a lucky listener. You didn't even hear that part.
Yeah.
So, I guess we're going to keep the $1 million. But yeah, the audio was no bueno. And for that, we apologize. If you haven't listened to episode 4, though, please try to, because you kind of get accustomed to the shitty quality of the audio.
Your brain kind of mutes it out, like all the shittiness of it after a minute.
After a few minutes, you're like, oh, me speak pretty one day. You start understanding it a little bit better, because it was a really good episode. It was our longest episode. It was a hella long episode.
Yeah, it was a very long
but it was really, really good. So if you haven't listened to it, or if you started listening to it and you're just like, these fucking amateurs don't know what the fuck they're doing, I'm turning this off. You need to go back through and and try to listen to it because it was a really good episode.
Yeah,
So,
definitely.
so yeah, needed to address that elephant in the room there. So, so it's been a couple weeks. Several weeks ago, episode 2-ish, we started telling our few listeners that crazy shit happens to us.
Yeah, it does.
And I have found that since saying that, nothing crazy has fucking happened to us.
I know. There really hasn't been a whole lot.
I feel like we're just liars at this point. People, that was probably the one thing people were hanging on to. Why they were listening. They're like, well, these guys suck.
Yeah.
They don't know what they're doing. But crazy shit's going to happen to them, so I'm going to stick around. And we have let them down as well.
Yeah, pretty much we let everybody down.
We do. We've let our families down, our spouses, each other, our dogs, our cats. But just for the hell of it, has anything crazy happened lately?
Man, I can't think of anything.
Well, you went to a show. You went to a concert.
I did go to a concert.
You did want to mention that.
Well, this was for my birthday,
which we'll touch on later.
Yes, and it was an alarming group of people. I will say that. It was in Middletown, Ohio, and if you don't know Middletown, Ohio, it is very poor right now.
Holy shit! We do have like 4 listeners in Middletown. You guys aren't poor. You guys are awesome.
Well, Hamilton's poor too.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
But yeah, so we went to the SOG Theater, Sorg Theater, I think.
Opera House.
Yeah, the Opera House, whatever it's called. But they had a Eagles cover band called Hotel California. And it was a very unique show in the fact that all of the band members were like 65 plus, except for the bass player. He was like maybe in his 40s and like stood out.
A whippersnapper.
Yeah, exactly. And he thought he was hot shit. He was dancing around on the stage. He was like pointing to people, being like nodding his head, like doing like a fake, like, yeah, like, come on.
So he was getting way too into
exactly.
It, is what you're saying.
Yes. And then the people watching it were even better because they just, I don't know where these people came from or what walks of life they have, but I'm behind the guy in the line for the bathroom and he's like 70 and he's sitting there hitting his dab pen and doesn't give a shit that we're in line inside of a building with a cop. No joke. A cop was standing 10 feet from this dude and he's sitting there just buzzing away, going, getting as high as the clouds.
Hell yeah. That's your kind of folk right there.
Yeah, exactly.
I think those are exactly the fans of the Eagles, though. I think that probably perfectly captures the fan base for the Eagles in 2022.
Yeah, I would definitely say so. My dad was having a very good time. I had a great time. It was a lot of fun. I would definitely recommend seeing a show there because I don't know. I think they just do bands and stuff. I'm not really sure all what they do there, but
it's haunted. That's all I've ever known about it is that it's allegedly a haunted location.
I could definitely see why because it looked haunted on the inside. And the building on the outside.
Well, that's because there were so many old people. You thought that they were ghosts.
Yeah, maybe that's what it was.
What if you were the only people there? What if you and your dad and your stepmom and your wife were really the only living people there? Everyone else was a ghost.
That would be pretty wild.
And there was no show.
And we just thought
like you go on the internet and you look back
and there's
no record of a show.
Well, very well could have been because the drummer was probably the band's best singer, by far, most talented member by a long shot. And he had his microphone positioned like from behind him over his head, and it was like turned down in front of his face. So it looked really goofy because he had a big shadow, and so it made the middle of his forehead really dark, and so his face was just like basically split into two sides because it was like
so was it an actual microphone stand or was it like clipped on the back?
No,
like RoboCop.
He had an actual stand coming up from the back over his head and then turned down in front of his face, and the microphone was like angled in front of his face.
That sounds like something we would do for this podcast.
Exactly.
That's amateur hour.
Like he definitely set that up himself. I was like, you know what? This is gonna ride. This will work. But he looked exactly like Emperor Palpatine from the Star Wars movies. Like after he gets all disfigured and stuff.
So you were definitely having an orgasm.
Yeah,
You're like,
exactly.
oh, the Eagles and Star Wars.
No better combo.
I'm the luckiest birthday boy in the world. Yeah, I know that, we'll talk about it a little later because I do want to address your birthday and I want to address that whole thing that you're talking to us about. But yeah, your stories that you and Emily were telling me was hilarious.
Yeah.
And they were funny, but at the same time, that's what I kind of expected.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, that's par for the course.
Well, and first of all, we sat down on the wrong seats. We went to the opposite side of where we were supposed to be. So we were sitting there like probably 20 minutes before the show, like, oh, we're vibing, got our seats, got our drinks, like we're good, we're set, don't have to move for a while. Some people come up to us and they're like, yeah, I think we're in your seats, or you guys are in our seats. And we're like, oh, that can't be right. We're in the right. Well, I had no control over the tickets. This was all my stepmom. And she's looking at him.
Pass the blame.
She's looking at him and she's like, oh, you're right. We're on the other side. So we get up, we shuffle around to the other side, fight through the crowd of people trying to get in there. And then we finally sit down in our actual seats. And they were actually a lot better than the other side because the other side had a huge pole like right in front of where my poor
Is that where the strippers came out at during the halftime, whatever the hell they got going there at the Sword Opera House?
We must have missed that part because I had to take a piss so bad by intermission.
What if you missed? Yet again, a running theme of this podcast is what we miss. So just like we thought, when we were talking about the child that got abducted that we saw in the minivan, and it could have been a naked woman.
Yeah,
what if you went to the bathroom and there was like 20 strippers that came out with their vagina lips clapping?
It would have been very disappointing, but I did hear people cheering, so that must have been what it was.
That was totally it.
Yeah.
Or some of those oldies were so fucking lit that they started using that pole. They're like, hey,
maybe that's what it was.
Get them singles out, boys.
Yeah, there were some people that like, it's not a set for dancing because it's literally an old timey theater. Like there's seats that go right up to the stage.
I think it's like on the historic.
Yeah, I mean, it would have to be. I think it was open in like the 1800s.
You're upsetting your dog right now. Talking about other women.
Yeah.
She's like, hey, you're married to my mom.
And so, I don't know. What was I saying? Oh, it was an old-timey theater. It's like definitely from the 1800s or something.
Maybe people in the 1800s, they fucked.
I mean, they did, for
sure.
They
fucked hard.
They had,
you had nothing else to do.
Exactly.
You were fucking because there was nothing else to do.
Could you imagine how dirty it was?
Oh, chlamydia was as common as the flu.
Yeah. Like, it would have been so gross.
You wouldn't have known any different.
That's true.
You would have been taught by your father growing up.
That's a good point.
Pieces of your dick are going to fall off, son. And you're going to wear it as a badge of honor because that shows how many bitches you fucked. And then by the time you died, you just had like a fucking stub dick because you had fucked the rest of your dick off. How badass to say you fucked your dick off.
That would be pretty badass.
See, we're wrong time period.
Yeah, man.
Because they fucked hard.
Yeah.
They drank hard.
Oh, yeah.
They shot people just because they didn't fucking like the looks of them.
I would have for sure been the knight that just like went into town and fucking raged when they drank because they didn't give a fuck.
I would appreciate that. I would expect nothing less.
Exactly.
I mean, there's the whole like bashing children against trees and
okay,
things.
well, maybe not that.
We wouldn't necessarily do that.
Yeah.
We'd let the other dickheads do that.
Exactly.
We would be too busy being hungover and fucking our dicks off.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice. Well, so we'll talk more about that later. We've already ran off course with that one, but I did want to mention something that was very unique to us and something that I can honestly say is very us. We were leaving for work one day last week, and there was a neighbor of ours who came outside of his house, younger guy, younger than you maybe.
Yeah, I would say so.
And he was practically naked, and it was like 8:00 in the morning. It was cold as fuck.
Yeah, it was super cold.
And he came out of his house, no shirt, no long pants. I didn't even see shorts, or you saw pants of some sort.
I think I saw pants. It might have just been like, well, what if he had like a little blankie on? That's all he had.
That would have been hilarious. Because he came outside the back door of his house, and then he sat at like a table, like a patio table.
He had to have been doing something.
And he was listening to trap music.
Yeah.
Like I could hear the trap music from our house, and I'm just hearing like.
Well, it's weird because we never see him ever.
Never.
Like,
I never
unless he's going inside. Like when we used to live, or when you used to live at your old place, we would see him going in and out. But it was a front yard, like getting in and out of his car. He would leave
just your normal
times.
shit. You know, he would go to the gym because he works out. You can tell he's in good. Yeah. He has a good physique. But I don't know what the purpose of it was. He wasn't working out. He literally came outside to sit at a patio table, nearly nude, listening to trap music on his phone, and then he just sat down like he had an appointment.
That's so weird. I don't get it.
Maybe and the kid's like 21 years old.
Maybe he's doing like a toughness technique. He's sitting there like, God damn it, it's so fucking cold, but I'm going to sit out here. I'm going to get frostbite.
Well, he should have done that like the week before when it was truly cold.
That's true.
Because it was cold, but it wasn't. It was windy. The wind was cold.
That's true. Because, you know, here in the Midwest, the wind is what gets you.
But a bunch. Table 19, your pizza's ready. So yeah, that was very bizarre, and I'm glad that we were able to witness that because I've thought about it now for 5 days, and I can't think of what logical reason he had to come out.
Maybe he was like sneaking a bitch in or something.
Here's why this is why any scenario that you come up with isn't going to make sense. It's because of how he went about doing it. He was not in a hurry. He didn't appear to be disheveled or anything like that. He calmly came out and then he calmly sat down at the table as though it was 2:00 on a July day, a Saturday. And he just sat down. He pulled the chair out. He sat down. He had both of his elbows on the table. He's like got one hand on his cheek, the other holding his phone, as though he was getting ready to order food or something from a server. Like he looked like he was at the fucking BK Lounge or some shit.
BK Lounge.
And that's why no scenario that I come up with makes sense. You know, because like if he was getting ready to meet someone, why wouldn't you do that in the front?
That's true.
It was in the back.
Yeah.
Nothing is making sense. So I'm dying to go over here and ask this kid, like, what the fuck is your deal? Like, what are you doing, you fucking pumpkin pie haircutted freak?
Yeah, that's like, weird.
Very weird. I don't know. If any of our listeners do shit like that, let us know what the fuck you're doing.
Well, I was wondering, like, at first I was like, oh, maybe he has his dog outside. Because I don't know if he has a dog, but I was just...
He does. He does have a couple dogs.
Oh, okay.
But there were no dogs with him.
That's right. But that's what I was going to say. It would make sense if his dogs were out there. He was like, oh, just sitting there, let him go to the bathroom, kind of play around for a minute. But yeah, you're right. There was no dogs out there.
And it was cold enough that if that had been the case, he would have hung out by like the door.
Right.
He wouldn't have came outside.
Or maybe had a jacket on.
Status spell. Yeah. I mean, like, what the fuck are you doing, dude? Like, the wind chill was very cold.
Yeah.
The ambient temperature wasn't as cold.
He's suntanning in November.
Yeah, it's fucking bizarre.
Yeah, it's super weird.
I think that he took some Special K like 6 hours before.
Yeah, probably.
And he was just coming down or something. That's all I can think of.
That could be. Maybe he took some magic mushrooms and was just living another life.
Maybe he thought it was June. Maybe he even fucking forgot where he was.
That's true.
Maybe he was on the beach.
Maybe he was doing heroin.
Maybe he was at the Sorg Opera House looking at strippers.
Gosh, he could have been.
There you go. Fucking full circle.
Full circle.
We just went full circle with that bitch. So, you know, we missed it last week because of the holiday, Thanksgiving. So, you know, did you have a good Thanksgiving? Did your parents get back together? Inquiring minds want to know because we know how heavy you are in the miracles of Thanksgiving.
They did not get back together, but it was a very good Thanksgiving on both sides. Had some good food. My dad smoked a turkey and it was friggin' delicious.
It was. I did have some. Your wife saved me literally the smallest piece of fucking turkey I've ever seen in my life.
Pretty much eaten. Like there was a lot of it eaten. There was not a lot to take home off of that. I started with a whole turkey leg.
Hell yeah, man.
I was like, I looked at Emily and I was like, you know, do you think it's rude if I just took a whole leg? And she was like, no, just take it.
Who's going to say anything to you? You're bigger than everybody in your family. What the fuck are they going to do? They're going to start some shit?
Yeah, but they might. Well, they might. But I also don't want to be rude. There was other people there that I didn't really know that well. I mean, well, I know them, but I don't know, like, I'm not like besties with them, you know?
Well, and that's exactly why that's the perfect time to do a move like that, because you're intimidating.
Well, it's fucking hilarious because I was sitting there and I had just grabbed my turkey leg off of the turkey and I was getting my other sides on there. And I hear people behind me whisper, like, oh, where's the dark meat at? And I was like, oh no. I was like, they're looking for a turkey leg too. I mean, good thing there was another one.
I was going to say a turkey has 2 legs,
Yeah.
unless I've missed something somewhere. Yeah, there's 2, and they're pretty substantial size. I mean, a leg has, quite a bit of meat on it.
Oh yeah, it was good.
It was very, very good. And I told Emily a week beforehand, I'm like, hey, if Grant's dad ends up, smoking a turkey, please make sure to get me some. and literally when she came over to my house, when you guys came over to my house for Thanksgiving, I'm looking for it. I'm like, where the fuck's the tin foil? Where the fuck's the plate?
Right.
Right. I'm thinking I'm going to get a plate.
And you get a little baggie.
And I got a Ziploc snack size fucking bag. And there was literally not enough turkey. I had to lick my fingers to get the full flavor. And I mean, I didn't even need to like put it in a microwave. I just breathed on it for 5 seconds to rewarm it up. That was how small it was.
I guess you should have came over then.
I obviously I'm going to have to if I want smoked fucking turkey, because it was delicious. So kudos to your dad for that. But
yeah, exactly.
Shout out. Yeah, shout out. So then, you did that earlier on Thanksgiving, and then you came over to my house, and my wife and I decided, fuck Thanksgiving.
Exactly.
Because we don't like Thanksgiving. We didn't cook any of the normal food. This was our first year of trying something different. And one reason was because we knew that, you guys would have your share of Thanksgiving food already.
Right.
When you have to do multiple homes and you're just going from turkey to turkey to turkey, it gets a little overwhelming at times.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
And because we're not personally huge fans of your traditional feast, your turkey feast, we decided to just do like dips, like, some dips and some finger foods.
And it was mighty delicious.
And, we made 11 pounds of hanky-panky.
Holy shit.
We made 11 pounds of hanky-panky. If you're from the Midwest, you know what the fuck it is. If you're not, you better fucking Google it, because it's the greatest thing ever.
Yes, it definitely is.
So I made 11 pounds, and I wanted to make more, but it was more than my crock pot. I mean, I filled the crock pot.
Yeah, it was full.
And there were 6 of us eating on it. And do you know I had maybe a quarter pound of it left at the end of the night?
Damn, really?
Because when you came in fucking hot.
And dude. I ate a lot of it.
You ate probably 5 pounds of hanky-panky when you first came over.
It was so good.
Like, I looked over and I'm thinking, oh, these fucks will be full. They've just had a Thanksgiving feast.
Yeah.
And you literally had 5 pounds of fucking hanky-panky on your plate.
I saved some room for it specifically.
It was unbelievable, because I was like, oh man, I'm going to have that for leftovers going into the long weekend.
And you had none.
And I had none. I literally had none. Because what little was left, I had promised to Amber's mom.
Oh, okay.
So because we made her like a little plate. She wanted some stuff. So I literally had none. I had no leftovers of my absolute favorite food, which is hanky-panky.
Maybe I'll make you some for Christmas.
You're going to have to do something, because I feel slighted by the lack of smoked turkey and then no fucking leftovers, because I kept trying to justify it, because I kept looking at Amber and I'm like, Amber, we're going to need more than 11 pounds. There's some big boys. We got, Amber's brother's growing up.
Right.
He can put away quite a bit of food.
Yeah, more than probably both of us.
He did. He had 2 plates.
He did.
Honking shit. And
see, I think he's the one that ate it all.
No,
me.
It was definitely you.
No,
you came
it
in,
wasn't.
Dude, that first plate, it tipped the fucking scale.
No, the first plate I had, I don't even know if I got any, to be honest.
You did.
Okay,
I'm going to tell you got quite a bit.
I got one piece.
Amber, even, because we were telling this to Amber's parents, her family, and it was mentioned that you ate it all. Like, even Amber was like, yeah, when Grant came in, he got a plate, and you couldn't see the plate for the hanky-panky.
See, that's a lie. That was not
it's
true.
Not a lie. You were intoxicated, so let's not Let's not go down this road. You were not in the right state of mind to make this argument.
I don't know. I think I am. I was not that well off.
You were really, you were gone.
I had a lot to drink that day.
Yeah, and you had a lot of hanky panky too. And so we did that, and then we did, cocktail weenies and barbecue sauce, another Midwestern staple, I feel.
Yeah.
We had, like, Amber tried something new that nobody really liked. It was like a sriracha chicken bullshit.
It's a shame because it was good. It was just spicy as a mother. I couldn't eat any of it. It was so hot.
It was hella spicy. Well, and like the recipe called for like fajita vegetables in it, and that threw it off for me.
Yeah.
It was texturally, it didn't work. I could have dealt with the heat if it hadn't been for like the peppers and onions.
If it was maybe just it was chicken, right? I think.
Yeah, it was a honey sriracha chicken dip.
Yeah, if it had no vegetables in it, it probably would have been better.
Well, because it was supposed to be comparable to like a buffalo chicken dip.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, that's super weird.
Yeah,
that it has fajita vegetables.
It was very odd. So we ended up tossing almost that whole thing. But then we had a plethora of desserts. We had pumpkin pie, pecan pie. Your wife made a bomb ass Coca-Cola cake.
Which we destroyed.
Yeah, that was gone. Yeah. I felt really bad taking as much of that as I did. Because it was super good.
It made up for the hanky panky that I took.
Well, it did. It didn't make up for the hanky panky. But yeah, so it was a good time. We sat around and ate a couple times. Sat there and let it digest and all that good stuff. And then you went over to your mom's. And then when did you go to your mom's?
I did that on. Wow, I don't remember. It was Saturday, I think.
Saturday.
No, it was Sunday because the Bengals were playing.
That's right. And you guys didn't do a traditional Thanksgiving there either.
No, we didn't. We did like some chicken taco type deal.
See, there you go. That's what's up.
Yeah, it was good.
So hopefully all of our listeners had a wonderful Thanksgiving. If you celebrate that kind of thing,
I would like to personally wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving, even though it's late.
Wow. Because sweet.
Can't skip that holiday.
Oh my God, it's the worst holiday. You should loathe it. You should loathe it. Thanksgiving tore your family apart.
It didn't. That's not
in my mind. It did at this point.
I know it's not.
Okay, so Grant is wishing you a happy Thanksgiving a week and a half late.
Yes,
because he loves Thanksgiving so fucking much. So there's that. And then, as promised, we're looping back to you just celebrated a birthday.
I did.
So happy birthday, buddy.
Thank you.
You want to tell the fine folks at home how old you are?
Yeah, I'm a cool crisp 24.
That's crazy to me. You act like you're 37. So it's always very surprising to me that you're that young.
Well, I don't listen to any music in this decade, so that doesn't
very
help.
True. You have the most eclectic music taste of anybody I've ever met. So
I don't think that's true.
Oh, it's true. You have the most eclectic musical taste. That's for another podcast. We'll do like a music special for Patreon or something. But so you just celebrated a birthday. And you took a shit ton of time off work for it.
I did, yes.
So that was kind of cool. So what did you do for your birthday besides for the Sorg Opera House, which we'll touch on a little bit more in a minute? But what other kind of things did you do to celebrate your big day?
Well, we went out to eat to a Mexican restaurant that we have around here, and it was freaking delicious. I didn't get very full, though, unfortunately, because at like 11:30, me and my wife ordered some Papa John's to get delivered.
And shit's hard up when you're ordering Papa John's, which is the worst fucking pizza place. I don't want Papa John's to sponsor us, so I have no problem with shitting all over it.
I don't care to shit on
It's not
them.
good.
It's not.
So if you're ordering Papa John's at 11 o'clock at night, it's like a fucking emergency 911 situation.
Well, they were open the latest, so I was like, well, I don't want to push it too close to when they close because then we were getting it delivered. I don't want some delivery driver to have to fucking boot all the way out to us, and then
better yet, you don't want them to like fart on your pizza.
Exactly, yeah. So we picked the one that was open the latest, and Emily just loves Papa John's. That's
she does.
She does. She loves it.
Her and our mom, they both love Papa John's, and it's fucking gutter trash.
Yeah, I don't understand it at all because it's really not good.
It's not good. It's It's 15 pounds of crust that
Yeah.
has no flavor.
Well, and their crust almost tastes like uncooked dough. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
I thought you were going to say like uncooked dick. I didn't know where that D was going, but yes, you're right. It's a very raw dough tasting.
yeah.
Even though it's
very-
cooked, I'm not going to
Yeah,
say that
no,
it's not cooked.
Yeah, no.
It's very much cooked. It just tastes. It tastes like raw dough smells.
Exactly.
That's
I will say though, at 11:30 at night when we got that, best Papa John's I've ever had,
Oh,
and that like it still wasn't as good as like I don't know Domino's per se or
Right,
something,
right.
but it was like it seemed very fresh. The delivery driver got it to us very fast.
did you get a shakaroni?
I did not know.
Do they still have the shakaroni right
They
now?
do. I wanted to
That
get
was
it.
pretty good.
It was-
The
it was not bad.
shakaroni's not bad.
Yeah, I like Papa John's pepperonis they use. They get kind of crispy, but
Well, it's made out of possum.
yeah, it probably is.
That's why you like it, you hillbilly. Well, no, because there's a big thing, and maybe this has changed, so don't quote me on this. But allegedly, there was some brouhaha over the fact that Papa John would not disclose his ingredient list. It's just better pizza or better ingredients, better pizza. And people are like, okay, well, what the fuck are those ingredients? Because
Right.
we can't find them on your website. And that was a thing for a very long time. I don't know if that has since been resolved, but it's very shady to me that a company who boasters the fact that they have better ingredients are not listing what those ingredients are.
because those better ingredients are cheaper ingredients.
Absolutely.
And they're probably the nastiest things ever.
No joke. You're not wrong. The cheese, we had a big conversation about the
Yeah.
Papa John cheese before.
It
It's
melts
fucking
weird.
trash.
Yeah,
It's just
I don't know.
garbage.
There's just not a whole lot of flavor to it.
And then like unless you're buying something in the special, it's expensive as fuck.
It is expensive as fuck. Yeah,
It's like $23 for a large pizza.
we spent I think $40 on that.
See, that's unbelievable. You know
I
how many
know.
White Castles you could have had?
Oh, I know.
Jeez,
I was
man.
in no state to drive anywhere though, so
Well, I feel like we need to stop giving Papa John's our hard-earned money.
yeah, I would like to, but like I said, my wife she loves it.
Well, you're gonna have to slap her around. I don't know. I don't know what the resolution is here, but I will not do it. If Amber wants it, because Amber loves it. I don't know. It's a woman. That's it. Maybe it's a woman's thing.
Yeah,
Maybe they put like essence of dick
they
in
could,
the food,
yeah.
and that's what attracts women to it.
Yeah, that very well could be.
Because
That
all the
totally makes
women in
sense.
my life, they love it. My sister loves it. My mom loved it. My wife loves it. I fucking can't stand it.
I
My
can't
dad
stand it.
hated it. You're not a big fan of it.
My dad didn't like it either.
Well, there you go. There's dick in it.
Yeah, there has
Somewhere.
to be something.
They
like
rest
that.
their balls on it before it goes through the oven. There's some pheromone, some essence
Yeah,
that makes pussies wet, and that's it. So we've cracked the code.
I think we have.
So you did that. Went out to dinner with your mom, or it was more of a lunch or like a late lunch. Was it
dinner.
dinner?
Yeah. it
Did you
was.
get to watch the Bengals game?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you mean at Thanksgiving?
Oh no, what?
You're confused. I
Yeah, I'm confused myself.
think.
So you did that, and then your dad took you to the Eagles tribute.
Yeah, that was the Saturday.
That was actually a Thanksgiving / birthday
it kind of
celebration
No,
because it was
wasn't.
hella early.
It was a little early, but they have a little puppy that he had to get his nuts cut off.
Rip to puppy's nuts.
Yeah, he had to get.
That's the name of
snip.
this episode. R.I.P. to puppy nuts.
Yeah,
Fucking
yeah.
trademark that shit right now. And that leads us back to the Sword Opera House. So I've got to ask. I mean, I love your dad. He's hilarious. He cracks me up. I love getting drunk with him. He's a great guy. What the fuck was he thinking getting you tickets to an Eagles tribute band?
Well, I think it was something he really likes, that kind of older rock music, the kind of more laid back, that kind of thing. And they did ask if I would be interested in something like that. And I said, yeah, because it actually ended up being a lot of fun. I loved all the music they played. I knew every song.
Well, yeah, I'm not hating on the Eagles. They're a staple of like 70s rock.
Yeah.
But it just seems like it would have been something for your dad's birthday versus your birthday.
Maybe. I don't know. I still had a blast, so I can't really complain about it. I know before I was like, well, maybe this isn't going to be as like fun as I think. It ended up being a super good time. I definitely want to go back. And
Well, that's because you partied with ghosts.
well, that's true. And it would just be fun to see that band again because that bass player was cracking me up. I literally couldn't stop roasting him all
Well,
night.
tribute bands are like that. Any tribute band that I've ever seen, they put on a hell of a fucking show. I mean, they get into it, man.
They really do.
They're getting paid. They think that like this is the big time for them.
Well, their lead guitar, I think he was the lead guitarist. They also had a guy that played the guitar was actually the official like creator of that band. And he almost looked Native American. I don't know if he was, or maybe he was Hispanic, but he was not white. I can tell you that.
Oh god.
And he was really good. He was a hell of a guitar player. I'll give him that. He fucking played the shit out of the guitar.
So how long was this? How long were you at the opera house?
I don't know. Probably an hour, hour and a half. I would say.
So there was like no opening band or anything like that.
It was just them. Yeah,
just that show. Okay.
it was definitely longer than an hour. I don't know how.
You said an hour, so are you already kind of going back? And
I don't really remember. I had a lot to drink.
Well, between you and my sister, I got about a quarter of the truth because I asked you guys like how many people were there. My sister's like 5,000, and then you were like, no, there was like 200.
Yeah, there may not even been two. I don't know how big the upper deck was. I could only really see the lower deck because I was kind of under the upper one. I would say the lower one probably held 100, so that I would assume the upper probably 50.
That's tiny though.
Like 150 people.
That's tiny. So I mean, you could fit 100 people, 150 people in a McDonald's. So are we talking about that small of a space?
It's a pretty small. That's how theaters I feel like were back then though. They were all pretty small.
Huh. I've never been, so I don't know. So I was trying to paint a picture in my mind of how big it was by seeing like, oh, okay, there were 300 people there. I can kind of get a picture in my mind.
Well, the seats were a little cramped, but God love I'm assuming my stepmom's the one that got the tickets because my dad's not really into that whole thing. So, but she got 4 seats on the end. So I got an end seat. I didn't have to sit next to anybody except for Emily, and that was fucking clutch because the seats were a little close together for my liking. Like I would have been cramped if I had to sit in the middle.
Right.
But yeah, the seats were crammed together, but I still only would say there's probably 150, 200 people.
So if any of our listeners, I know we have a few that listen in Middletown, if you could just let us know how many people can fit in the opera house, I need to know at this point.
Yeah, we do need to know. Oh, are you ready? Oh, okay.
All right. So yeah, happy birthday to Grant.
Thank you.
Very glad that you had a ton of mail. You had a ton of mail that came through for your birthday. I saw a lot of cards downstairs. So I'm glad that people are loving on you. So we're going to take a little break. When we come back, you can tell us a little bit about what you've been watching lately.
All right. That sounds good.
All right, then we're back. Again, anytime that you hear a commercial break here at Beards and Beers is because one of us has to urinate.
Yeah, exactly.
The way God intended commercial breaks. So tell me a little bit. We're now officially into December, and it's time for us to kind of start talking to people about what we enjoy watching this time of year. So, what have you? My first question to you is: have you seen anything good lately? And then I'm going to also ask you, what are some of your favorite holiday flicks or specials or shows that you try to watch every year around this time of year?
Alrighty. Well, I'll hit you with the seen anything good lately. I finished the Outer Range show on Prime Video. It was weird as hell, but it was really good. I really enjoyed it. Definitely very sci-fi. Probably something that a lot of people wouldn't enjoy. But I thought it was super good. It was filmed in a very cool way. There was a lot of cool cinematography type scenes. And the story was confusing as all get out, but it was really good. It was a solid show. I would definitely recommend people to watch. I just don't know how many people.
What would you give it out of 5 stars? What are we looking at here?
I would probably give it like I'd probably say 3.5 stars, just for the simple fact it was a little hard to follow. And some of the it's a show you have to watch every fucking second of it, or else you might be kind of lost. So that would be something that gives it a little bit of a downgrade, but also that's kind of a plus for some people because they will like the in depth. It makes you think really well, so I really enjoy that. And then just I don't know, maybe it's a 4. Maybe I give it a 4 instead of a 3.5. I would say that. I definitely recommend it though. I think a lot of people. I think you would enjoy it because it's also kind of a thriller. Because there's kind of I don't know. It's kind of like a crime esque aspect to it, but I don't know. It's more or less just like a really good.
Well,
thriller.
give us a rundown of kind of what the general synopsis is.
So it follows a Wyoming. I'm assuming he's a rancher of some type. I think it's cattle. And his name is Royal Abbott, which is fucking
hilarious. Fucking name.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. And that's played by what's his name? Josh Brolin.
Yeah.
And he has a family that they farm the land. He has 2 sons. One's name is Perry and one's
Winkle.
Rhett.
Okay. Perry and Rhett.
And so the son Perry, he has a daughter. His wife, you find out in the first episode, has just disappeared. She left. You find out more about it later. I don't want to give anything out. People want to watch it, but it's not like a spoiler that she's gone because you find out very early on. And then so there's just a lot of weird shit that happens. There's like a huge hole in his property that he finds. But then the people that live next to them on the ranch next to them are trying to get the land that particular hole is on. It's on his west pasture. But apparently back in the day, like in the 1800s, somebody messed up the land thing. So technically the land actually belongs to the neighbors, even though it's been in the Abbott family for like a ton of years, obviously. So there's a huge thing going on with that. So that's like kind of a fight between 2 families type deal. And then it just gets very sci-fi from there. It makes you question, like, I feel like they question God a lot in it, which is kind of an interesting take. I don't know. It's a very good show. I definitely recommend watching it. It definitely makes you think. I don't really want to. I can't give much because it kind of gives away some of the things.
Yeah, don't give away anything for sure. But I think Amazon Prime shows are still kind of catching on. You don't hear as much about them as you do like Hulu, Netflix, all those kinds of things.
Right.
So I just wanted to make sure that people knew kind of what they were getting into if they went down that rabbit hole. So awesome, man. So you watched that. Have you seen anything else good? Or
I watched The Boys too. That was on there.
The Boys. That's a fantastic show.
Yeah, that was a super good show. Well, I'm sure a lot of people have seen that because
I would hope. If you haven't, then
check
what
it
the
out.
fuck are you doing?
Yeah. I mean, it's a superhero show, but like fucking how a superhero show should be.
It's pretty fucking stellar.
Yeah.
I'm glad that you were able to get caught up with that because we should be getting a new season pretty soon.
Oh, really?
Pretty soon.
Hell yeah.
All right. So tell us a little bit about some of your Christmas go-to films. What are you, what recommendations could you give some of our fine listeners?
Definitely Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Oh, shit.
One of my all-time favorites.
Going old school.
Yeah, okay. I love that one. Oh, shit. What's the other one called that I like? It's about Santa Claus's life, how he gets raised. And I cannot remember. It's around the same time as Rudolph. I can't remember it.
Is it The Year Without a Santa Claus?
No, it's hold on. You go ahead and go with one because I'm going to find this.
Okay, you do that. So I've actually watched a couple films over the last couple weeks that I would give high recommendations to, and then I've seen one that I would not. So I finally got around to watching Top Gun Maverick. Fantastic fucking movie. It definitely deserves all the accolades and all the money that it's done. It's done like $1 billion. It's fantastic. Even my wife enjoyed watching that one with me. Watched 8-Bit Christmas, which was an HBO movie last year. It just so happens that it's a Christmas movie. I thought it was a very Good, heartfelt, funny movie. Highly recommend that. And then just today, I watched Jordan Peele's Nope.
Okay.
Because I was a huge fan of Get Out. Us was good, not quite as good as Get Out.
Right.
And then I wanted to watch Nope, and I hated it. But here's the thing. Here's the caveat to that. I hated it, but I think you will love it.
Okay.
And I'm not hating on it because of the reason you would love it. I'm hating on it just because I thought that it wasn't made very well. Like the story didn't flush out the way that it should.
I gotcha.
But it is a sci-fi movie, and I know you are a sci-fi guy, so I think you will enjoy it.
Okay.
You'll be able to forgive some of the things that I cannot, because even though I enjoy sci-fi, I'm not as big of a sci-fi fan as you.
Right.
My Christmas go-tos, of course, are Jingle All the Way, best fucking Christmas movie of all time.
Yeah, I would say I would agree with that.
And then there's the classics. Growing up, you watch Christmas Story, National Lampoon Christmas Vacation.
Yeah, Christmas Vacation's up there for me.
I feel like those go, get all the praise, but Jingle All the Way, man, people sleep on Jingle All the Way.
They do, and it's such a great movie.
It's such a fucking great movie. I'll watch that fucking movie 3 times over the next 3 weeks.
For sure. Oh, easily.
So if you haven't watched Jingle All the Way, I think it's a great movie to get acclimated with Schwarzenegger.
Yeah, I would agree. But it's such a good movie, though. It's so good.
It's so funny, and it's short. It's like an hour and 20 minutes.
Yeah, it's perfect.
It's holiday. It's got Tom Hanks' wife in it. It's got Phil Hartman, Rip.
R.I.P.
Fantastic movie, by far my favorite Christmas movie. And then I also pull out a bootleg DVD that I ordered through the dark web. Seriously, I don't use the dark web. Please don't come and arrest me. Of Muppet Family Christmas, which was a television special back in the 80s that I grew up watching. And it's fantastic, and I highly recommend. You can watch it on YouTube, but the quality kind of sucks because it's a rip from a TV from 1991. But Muppet Family Christmas, that's the shit. So let's revisit what you were looking up. What is the Santa Claus movie that you were talking about?
So it is Santa Claus is Coming to Town.
Oh shit!
And it is probably my favorite one to watch during the Christmas season.
Oh, your favorite?
I would say so.
So this goes ahead of Rudolph.
Yeah, I love all these old classic ones. And Frosty the Snowman, that's another one I love. There's a lot of these. I guess they're all in order. I never knew that.
Okay.
But yeah, so I guess Rudolph was the first, then Frosty, then Santa Claus is Coming to Town, and then there's The Year Without Santa Claus, which you were talking about. And then there's a ton of other ones after that. There's an Easter Bunny one, a Charlie Brown. Oh, that's you might like. Okay, so it ends with A Miser Brothers Christmas.
Okay.
Interesting. I never knew that. All of them have very shitty ratings except for the first 3 or 4 on IMDb. The Easter one has actually a pretty high rating. It's a 7.0.
Well, do you fuck with the OG How the Grinch Stole Christmas?
Oh yeah, I love that one too. I like the one with Jim Carrey too. That one's also another one I recommend watching.
Well, that one's more catered to, I think, your age demographic.
I would
it came
say
out
so.
in 2000, 2001, so it was
it's
your age,
right?
Because I'm not a big fan. I think it goes to hell in the second half of the movie.
Yeah, it does kind of.
It's too long.
It is very long. It does not need to be that long.
Yeah, it just it loses my interest in the end. But my wife loves it. That's her favorite, the Jim Carrey Grinch. Well, I mentioned that because they are putting out a slasher movie, and the killer is the Grinch.
Oh, okay.
And it's naturally they can't use the title The Grinch,
right?
Even though the guy is the Grinch, and it's called the He Who Stole Christmas or something.
That's awesome.
And it's the guy who's playing the Grinch is actually the guy who plays the clown in the Terrorizer movie franchise. And it looks fucking bomb. It's going to be like a cheap B movie, lots of gore, hopefully a lot of tetes. So we'll have to check that out. And and it's based on Dr. Seuss as well.
Interesting. That's actually very cool.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's coming out this month, so we'll have to try to check it out. And we want to see the one with David Harbour, where he's Santa Claus.
Oh, I was actually going to see that over my birthday break that I've had, but we never ended up going to see it.
Well, your wife should be ashamed.
It's not really her fault. I didn't say anything. Well, I did say that we were going to go see it like a long time ago, but then we never really
What the hell's that one called? What's the name of that one?
Oh, it's Fright? No, not
Silent Night.
Silent Night? I think it might be Silent Night, something like that, right?
I honestly can't remember.
Violent Night.
Violent Night. Yeah,
no, that's a trailer for some. I think it is Violent Night, but it won't let me click on it. So,
well, yeah, we want to see that. So I'm glad that they're taking the traditional Christmas movie and kind of turning it upside down with violence and because it's very reminiscent of Mel Gibson's Fat Man. Which was stellar. I love that fucking movie. I need to watch that again this year, too.
Yeah, I'm going to watch that again this year for sure. One. I bought it on Prime, I think.
I bought it on Prime as well. So yeah, we'll have to check that out. Maybe watch it together and get drunk.
Oh, yeah, that'll be fun.
So, all right. So have you seen anything good lately? The holiday kickoff edition. So tell me, Grant, you have anything to talk about when it comes to sports?
Yeah, I think I did.
I'm sure you're gonna be like,
no. I mean, the basics are going on. I do have some very interesting things. I don't know. They're kind of my new. I do have two for news, that I have, but I think one of them is both are technically sports related. So we'll just go with one of those. I guess Antonio Brown was served an arrest warrant in Florida, and I guess it was over a domestic abuse thing with his baby mama.
None of that surprises me.
Yeah. No, none of that.
Antonio Brown.
It was in Tampa, I think. I have the article. I'm not going to read too much. It's the headline. We know what happened. He probably beat her. She called the cops.
This is Grant just slowly giving up on life right now. I've got it here. Fuck it. Antonio Brown, piece of shit, beat his woman. We're done here.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, and we have a very exciting game tomorrow. Tomorrow for us is Sunday. We've got the Bengals and the Chiefs.
Ooh, yeah, I'm excited
Burrow
for that.
And Mahomes. You know, the everybody's saying Mahomes is the greatest. And you know what?
Probably.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to. Here's the thing. Do I think Mahomes is better than Burrow? Yes.
Yeah.
I do. But I think that the Bengals team is better overall.
I would agree.
We just don't have as good of.
I think we're I could say that. If we had Andy Reid, for instance, I think our team would be better.
Absolutely.
But I also don't think our team would be as good because for some reason our defense is also very good. And I feel like the Chiefs defense has never been very good recently, at least.
And our offense is really starting to catch fire.
Yeah. And if our defense can play a shutdown as they have been playing, then man, we're going to be a weapon coming into this late season.
I'm looking forward to it. Very excited for the game tomorrow.
Me too.
So one of the reasons why I'm not going to work on Monday is so that I can get drunk and watch the game because it's a 4:20 game. So,
yeah, that does suck.
Yeah. So yeah, looking forward to that. All right, cool. So those were the headlines. Grant doesn't give a fuck anymore about sports. Antonio Brown's a piece of shit. Well, we've got a very exciting Cincinnati game tomorrow.
Yeah, I do care about sports.
I just do, buddy. It's okay. Don't cry.
There was a hockey player that did have a stroke. I forget his name.
Hockey players get the most fucked up medical things.
I guess he had one back in 2014 that kept him out for 2 months. This is the second one he's had.
So that's probably God saying, hey.
Maybe quit playing hockey.
Maybe don't play hockey.
Yeah. I don't know. That's crazy. I can't believe that.
Yeah, that is wild. All right. So before we get into other crazy news things, let's take a moment and do an alcohol review and talk a little bit about holiday beer since this is our kind of kickoff to the holiday season episode.
Yeah, it is.
So, as I mentioned earlier, you had brought with you some moonshine.
I did. Yeah, I did.
It's not a beer because the gentleman who was previously producing our segment, Dirty Dan, that we work with, he has not brought us any new beers to try, so shame on him. hopefully he listens to this episode and he realizes the kind of bullshit that he's putting us through.
Yeah, we were really relying on him for this.
Yeah, we could have done the fizzy Ipton drinks, but
Yeah,
we got
we
excited.
we did,
we wanted
yeah.
to drink those earlier.
Those were very good.
It was a very, very good beer. So instead, we now are just going to do an alcohol review.
Oh yeah,
because we fucks it up like that. What do we have here?
this is a Sugarland Shine, and it's actually from the PG. I guess it's like a special moonshine they did, but
Did you just about say the Special Olympics?
No, I did not.
I swear to God, I think you were getting ready to say Special Olympics.
Maybe I was. I don't know. But yeah, it's a PGA Championship Lemonade Moonshine, and it is very, very good. I've had it before, but we're going to review it live right now because I haven't had it in a while. It's been in my fridge forever.
All right, well, let's go ahead and pour us out. You brought some very festive shot glasses that I'm a little worried that you are too inebriated to pour into.
Luckily, there's no electronics around here.
No, just everything that we're using. Okay. All right. Nice
Oh,
pour. You did very well.
I was a little shaky McGee on that.
I don't want to hear anything about you. You make fun of my Parkinson's all the time. All right. So very festive little Christmas shot glasses with skulls. But
it suits my character.
Let's try it. Salute, sir.
Salute.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, strong.
Yeah. Yeah, when you've been drinking beer for an hour and a half.
Yeah, I know.
That's a wake-up call right there.
Ooh.
That's very good, though.
Yeah, it's very delicious. It actually tastes a little bit like lemonade.
Yeah, that did. That tasted a lot like lemonade.
I don't know. That was good.
I like that a lot, actually.
It's very good. I might have to try and find some more some point. Well,
because that came from Sugar.
Yeah.
Sugarland,
Sugarland Shine.
yeah.
We bought that when we were in Gatlinburg.
Yeah, that's good. I will say that there's the sweetness is kind of a medium high sweet.
It is a very sweet, but it would be good to shoot, I feel like.
Oh, it was perfect to shoot. It was very sweet, but the sweetness was very quick. And
Yeah.
It hit you that moonshine taste.
It's really not that strong for a moonshine, at least.
No, what's the ABV on that?
20%.
Okay, so definitely something that you could sip on casually, either around a fire if it's colder weather, or down by the pool.
Yeah, definitely in the summertime.
Yeah,
throw it in your Yeti so none of your children see it.
Really, this segment isn't serving anybody any purpose other than for us to get more drunk.
Yeah, that's essentially what this is.
People are not going to write this down and be like, "Oh, Sugarland Shine Lemonade PGA. I'm going to buy that." They don't give a shit.
No,
we just want to do shots.
Exactly.
We wanted a reason to implement shots into the podcast.
In fact, I think we should do a second one.
Okay, let's do a second one.
All right.
Let's do it.
Oh, God. Hold on. I got to put my microphone down.
Oh, God. Shaky McGee over here, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, God. I will be very impressed if you could pour it as well as you did the first one.
That was blind luck.
Yeah, the first one was pretty perfect.
Let's see.
Here we go.
Oh.
Ooh, just the tip. Just the tip.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh. That was good. Yeah,
I spilled a couple drops.
It's still very impressive given how inebriated you really are.
And we're really about to be inebriated after this.
Yeah. Well, we figured we might as well do a second one to give you a full-fledged review.
Exactly. We got to taste this one a little bit.
Yeah, this one's all about the taste.
Exactly. It kind of tastes like a very unsweetened lemon lime Gatorade.
It's really weird because for a very quick second, it's really sweet.
Yeah.
But it's very, very fast. And then it goes into more like a sugar-free country time lemonade or a lemon lime Gatorade or something.
Yeah.
And then it hits you with the moonshine. So if I were to rate this on a scale of drinkability, I would say that this is definitely drinkable.
Oh, yeah, definitely drinkable.
Especially if you're drinking it while you're drinking other things. Like you're using this to just occasionally sip on in between beers or seltzers or whatever you fuck with. I'm gonna give it. I'd give it 3 out of 5.
I give it a 3 out of 5. That's about where I would place it. Yeah,
Okay.
because the flavor's not overly strong, which I get in moonshine. Not going to be a whole prevalent flavor in that
for sure.
because you're kind of just drinking it. I feel like you're just drinking moonshine to purely get fucked up. Why else would you buy moonshine?
There's really no reason to.
Yeah. So I don't know why they have all these flavors. I guess it's the excitement of it because
well, I mean, we've definitely had like really good moonshines, like the Old Smoky Sour Raspberry.
Oh yeah, that one was pretty good. Yeah.
And those I enjoy tasting, but I mean, I get it. I got a half a second of flavor with that. So it's just a punch.
Yeah.
It's just a punch of flavor.
Well, and they have to compete with all the other liquors too because they all have fancy flavors and stuff like that. So
exactly. No, it's solid. 3 out of 5. I would definitely drink it.
Yeah, definitely.
I like it. So then that leads us to the beer segment of Beards and Beers. And again, because the holidays are kind of the theme today, a holiday beer salute. Just wanted to take a few minutes. We don't have to go real in depth to just talk about some of the holiday beers that we like and what we would recommend to someone who's either visiting the area or if it's a national brand, maybe give them a push to go out to their local grocer and purchase. So what kind of holiday beers do you find yourself getting hard to?
Oh, well, Taft's, which is a local one around, I think, is it in Cincinnati?
It is.
Yeah. Okay. I couldn't remember if it was in Cleveland or Cincinnati. But they have a, oh, shit.
Is it the Santa's Bribe?
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, because I was going to mention that one.
Okay, yeah.
Son of a bitch.
Sorry, I didn't know.
No, Taft Santa's Bribe.
That one's good. Yeah. I do also have the Samuel Adams Christmas Lager. I really enjoyed. I think I gave you one of those.
Yeah, that was good.
It was super good.
Yeah, that's good.
And the Winter Lager I thought was really good.
I'm a big winter guy. The winter ale. I like the winter ale. I'm a big fan of the Great Lakes Christmas Ale. I highly recommend that one.
Yeah.
That's a solid. If you're in Ohio and you're not drinking Great Lakes Christmas Ale, what the fuck are you doing? I also, my wife picked me up sort of by accident a 6-pack of an IPA. We're not IPA guys.
We're not.
Outside of Elvis Juice by Brewdog. I don't fuck with IPAs too often, but she picked me up Mad Trees Holly Days, and you had one of those.
I did.
When you came over for Thanksgiving, and I thought, for a very hoppy beer, very hoppy, but I thought it was good.
It was good. It had a certain taste to it where it didn't necessarily taste like an IPA. It did.
It tasted like Christmas.
It did. It
really did. Yeah. It tasted like a Christmas beer.
It tasted like Christmas come to my mouth.
Whoa. Clear the phone line. I thought it was good, and the cans were stupendous. I think that's why my wife bought it, was because it was a very festive can.
That
green
makes sense,
and had a wreath and very Christmassy can. And it was like a 6.7%, I think. So that's always nice to get down with a high ABV around the holidays when you may be dealing with people that you don't want to deal with.
Want to be with.
Yeah. And then I looked it up, and we talked about this a little bit earlier last week, just between you and I. We were talking about Blue Moon and how everybody sleeps on Blue Moon as a kind of a go-to refrigerator beer. But I did not know this. They have a holiday beer sampler pack.
Really?
And regular Blue Moons in it.
Okay.
There's a different kind of like Blue Moon wheat. So a couple of them are just kind of regular.
Right.
But they have one called Blue Moon's Spiced Amber Ale. And I want to try it.
That sounds good. We need to find that.
Good. Yeah, that would be really good because, we were talking about how a lot of their seasonal beers just get slept on.
Yeah.
I've had a lot of really good Blue Moon beers over the years for fall, and didn't even think about Christmas.
Well, we really like that Light Sky one or whatever.
I love the Light Sky.
It was really good.
A great beer.
Yeah.
95 calories, and I think it's a 4%, I believe.
It was around there, yeah.
Yeah. and it's good. It's a very drinkable
Yeah,
beer.
I agree.
A lot of flavor. So Blue Moon, they do it right. So yeah, just wanted to mention that I wanted to try the Blue Moon Spiced Amber Ale just in case somebody wants to purchase that for us, so that we can try it.
Yeah.
So yeah, Taft, Santa's Bribe, Sam Adams always knocks it out of the park with their seasons.
They always
It
do.
really doesn't matter what season it is; those are fantastic. Great Lakes Christmas Ale, I believe that you can buy that in a significant portion of the country.
Oh, really?
That is an Ohio beer. Mad Tree Holidays, it's Cincinnati branded. So if you're in the Cincinnati area, you can check that one out. Rheingeist has Dad, which is a really good beer. I'm not a huge Rheingeist person, mostly because they do a lot with IPAs.
Yeah, they do.
But their Dad is a really good Christmas beer. It's more of a regular traditional lager.
I'll have to try that one too. I haven't had that one.
Yeah, it's a cool can. It's got like buffalo plaid on it.
Oh, okay.
It's Christmassy. They bring it out at this time of year.
That's cool.
So that's a good one. And then we want to try Blue Moon Spiced Amber Ale.
Yeah, that sounds freaking delicious.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to try and find that.
I want to get that and drink it in front of a fireplace.
Yeah, that's what it seems like it should be for.
Yeah. All right. So that was our holiday beer salute. If anybody wants to send us some beers to try, or if you simply just want to tell us, like, hey, I'm from this area, or you guys didn't talk about this beer, let us know, and we'll go out and buy it and try it. Since Dirty Dan's a little bitch and no longer produces the segment that he produced one time. With that being said, crazy news stories. So I think this was pretty cool segment that we started a couple weeks ago when Emily was on the pod.
Yeah.
You couldn't really hear too much of it, as we stated earlier. But, I really like the idea of us kind of coming up with a crazy news story that we found and telling the listeners about it. So what did you find? What did you dig up this week?
Well, this one is also kind of sports related, but I thought it was very crazy, first of all. But a Florida University quarterback, his name is Jalen Kitna, is being held on an $80,000 bond, and he was caught with child pornography.
Ooh.
And he's 19 years old and apparently had like hundreds of pictures on his computer. So I thought that was pretty fucking crazy because it's a college football player.
Well, it's weird because
and I feel like normally when it's like child porn,
it's like an older person.
It's like a white 50-year-old dude, or something like that.
Yeah, that's seriously. I mean, you're right. It's very odd that it would be a 19-year-old. Well, because there's like that fine line, right? When you're 18, 19, you don't think much about being with someone who's 16, 17.
Right.
It's against the law.
It is, yeah.
And, that's just, again, assuming that it's a 16-year-old person that he has pornography of. It could very well be younger than that. That's just gross.
Well, I wonder if this could be like a girlfriend type deal. Like he did have like a 16, 17-year-old girlfriend.
You see, then that's something completely different to me. If you're 17 and you're dating a 19-year-old or an 18-year-old,
I feel like you kind of know what's going on.
Yeah, I mean, is that a crime?
Well, see, and this is where I don't really know much about this because the article was very vague, and what it pretty much gave like the article title, and that was essentially what everything was. And they said they found hundreds of pictures, and it was like the Florida Internet Crime Unit or whatever that discovered it. But I wonder, I guess if it was in the internet, maybe that's how he got caught. So maybe he was really like looking at like.
Yeah, I mean, maybe it was really children. And if that's the case, then it doesn't matter if you're 18 or 98.
Exactly.
It's locked up.
Yeah, exactly.
But, if it was a situation where it was like his because he was dating.
Right.
When he was 18, he was with a 17-year-old.
Exactly.
That to me is goofy.
But what makes me think too is like, what if he was with somebody that was underage? He broke up with them. They get pissed and they're like, "Oh, he has all these fucking nude photos of me," and then they're like, and then they bust him for that. That would be really fucked up. But I could see that happening.
Well, and I'll tell you something else that's really fucked up when you're talking about child porn is that even if you yourself are a minor and you leak other minor pictures, so like if you're 14 and you're dating a 14-year-old and your 14-year-old girlfriend sends you a naked picture,
right?
and you share that with other 14-year-olds, you can still fucking go to jail for child porn. Even though you're 14, the girlfriend was 14, your friends are 14, it's all still the same.
It's very interesting.
It's an interesting thing, I feel.
Yeah, that is very interesting. Well, it's actually funny that you say that. I have a story about this.
Okay.
It's a friend that I will not name. No names here for this because it happened a long time ago and nothing came of it anyway. So I don't think he could even be in trouble for it. But we were freshmen and we were working out at our high school football facility, like with the older guys or whatever. And a fucking Hamilton police officer comes up with like the principal of the freshman building and like one of the assistants, I think. And they pulled one of my buddies out. And he was like messaging this girl, like I guess they were exchanging nudes back and forth or whatever. And she found out he shared them with like all of his friends.
So I'm assuming you were a part of that friend group?
Yeah.
Okay.
On like a secret messenger app thing or whatever.
Yeah.
And he got pulled out and they were like threatening to like press charges against him for it.
Yeah.
And he was like facing like big trouble. And then they ended up like resolving it and in peace and they like didn't do anything about it.
It's crazy. I mean, you know, for the most part, to me, it's a very simple thing. Just don't get into child porn. But then in situations like this, you know, like there's a line there, you know, like kids are going to be kids, right? Those 14-year-olds, they're going to be 15-year-olds, however old you guys were. You know, you're seeing titties, you're fucking, you're sucking. That's happening. And unfortunately, we now just live in a day and age where it's easy to get pictures and media.
Well, and that's the thing, like, don't put your face in it.
There you go, kids. There's your advice from Uncle Grant. If you're going to send nudes, just don't include your picture in the photograph.
The thing is,
or your face.
They're going to do it anyways.
Well, they will because it's very common now.
It's easy to do, first of all.
Like when I was a kid, fuck that. You had to see titties in the flesh.
Exactly, yeah.
And it fucking sucked. It wasn't an easy task.
Right.
You know, it's very easy to catch somebody when they're, you know, it's 2:00 in the morning and they're in their fields. They'll send you a fucking titty picture.
Exactly.
When I was young, you had no way of even talking to somebody at 2:00 in the morning. You were at your house. They were at their house. You wasn't getting titty anything. You had to be with them, and you had to be like, "Hey, I'll give you $15 and clean your bathroom if you'll fucking show me your tits right now."
Right.
So again, just times change, but the simple fact of the matter is, don't be fucking attracted to children because that's just fucking disgusting.
Well, yeah, that is very fucking disgusting.
But if you are a child and you're dabbling with other children, then it's a whole other fucking world to me.
Yeah, exactly.
One that I don't understand. But so very interesting take for that 19-year-old football player. So my news article is actually a few years old, and you know, like I did a Google search just trying to find more current ones. And I thought at first that this was a current one because it came back as a Google hit. But when I read the fucking title of this, I knew that regardless of when this happened, I had to share it on this podcast because it's too fucking good not to. So I'm going to read you the title of this news article. And really, just like with your news articles this week, the title pretty much says everything that needs to be said.
All right.
But here it is. This is from September 19th of 2018. Batman busts out his bat dick for new comic aimed at mature readers. Dude, I fucking died.
That's awesome.
I died when I saw that. I was like coughing, laughing so hard. Batman busts out his bat dick for a new comic aimed at mature readers. So it was a series of 3 comic books called Batman Damned.
Okay.
And in it, he comes back from fighting crime and he has like amnesia or something. I don't know. I can't piece together why this was relevant. And he gets completely nude. So A, you found out that Batman does not wear underwear when he's fighting crime.
Okay.
And B, it goes as far as to say that you know from the graphic novel that he's circumcised.
Okay.
And apparently he has a massive dong.
Well, that makes sense.
So anybody who's interested in seeing Batman's dick, Batman Damned is the name of the 3-issue comic book series, and it shows his ass and his dick, and it's geared towards mature readers.
I'll have to check that out.
You know what? And I can't believe I didn't. I thought I wanted to kind of Google image it.
Right.
But then knowing my luck, my wife would see it, and then there'd be this fucking thing where I'm trying to tell her I'm not gay. And you know, like, no homo. You do you, but I'm not interested in seeing Batman's dick in that regards.
Right.
But at the same time, I have like FOMO.
Right.
I don't want to miss out seeing his fucking dick.
Right, exactly.
So I kind of want to see it, no homo, but at the same time, I'm like conflicted.
Yeah.
So it is what it is. It is what it is.
I don't know. I agree with you. It's definitely the FOMO situation where you just don't want to miss out.
Because like, I don't know. I want to be the guy in a group of guys to be like, oh yeah, I fucking saw it.
Right.
You know, like, because I guarantee you.
But you want to be the guy in the group of girls when they're like, oh, did you see his dick? And you're like, yeah, I have seen it.
Yeah, it's nothing. Come over here, baby girl. Put your head on my lap. I'll show you a fucking bat dick. I'll show you a bat brain with my fucking ball sack. So yeah, so that's what we got going on.
Oh.
Disconnect.
So this is shaping up to be a longer episode too, because we've had several beverages while recording today.
I probably should have had Emily put some more in the fridge.
Oh God. Well, we're almost done. We're almost done with this episode. So really, you know, we have a new segment here, and you know, I feel like we have this outlet now to bring up important things. You know, like we like to come on here, we like to bullshit. We like to talk about movies and beer and TV shows and, you know, have fun. We're a very fun-loving group of people here. But then I was thinking, what can we do to give back? What can we do to contribute something to society other than tear apart Batman's dick and talk about your divorced parents? Those things are all fine and good in their own right. So I'm going to start tackling once every week, every couple weeks, an important thing, and we're simply calling the segment "Josh Tackles the Important Stuff." These are things that everybody thinks and feels. I'm just giving it a voice because I have a platform to give it.
There you go. Actually making use of what we can do.
Yeah, you know, like, I mean, I feel like more people need to do that. You know, it's easier than ever now to be seen. You have TikTok, you have podcasts, there's Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and there's
Pornhub.
Yeah. If you want to see Batman's dick. You know, there's a group of people who use those outlets and those channels to do something great. I want us to be a part of that in our own way. So this is the first topic for this new segment, and I know for a fact you're going to love this one. I haven't told you on purpose what it is because I wanted to get a true, fresh take from you. I wanted us to have a good adult conversation about it. Now I'm afraid we're too intoxicated to have it, but
probably.
So the first important stuff segment thing that I want to talk about is this.
Alrighty, let's hear it.
This is what grinds my gears. This is a gear grinding situation.
Grind those gears.
I want to talk about the number of regular shitty ass Oreos are in a pack versus the number of any other better Oreo in a pack.
Okay.
All right. Now think about this. Let's unwrap that. Let's digest that.
I already know what you're saying.
Let's digest this, right? You go to the store and you buy a fucking family size pack of Oreos, just regular Oreos.
Right.
Not double stuff, not
or
most
mega
stuff
or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Just regular fucking Oreos. There's fucking 100 cookies in that fucking pack.
I know.
But they suck.
They do.
I then go to the store and I want to get their white fudge covered Oreos. I want to get the most stuffed Oreos. I want to get the fucking peanut butter and jelly Oreo or whatever the fuck flavor of the month is.
Right, exactly.
There's like 20 of them.
I know.
And they're more expensive.
I know. It's fucking crazy.
What the fuck is happening, Nabisco?
Yeah. Give us some answers.
I want fucking answers. Stop peddling your party size regular Oreo where you get 2,000 Oreos that nobody likes. There's no cream in it.
No, there's
Nobody
nothing.
eats Oreos for the fucking cookie.
Honestly, just get rid of the original Oreo.
Get rid of the cookie. Just start jarring the fucking cream,
dude.
Jar that fucking cream up like marshmallow fluff, and I'll
Ooh.
sit here and I'll eat it like a fat kid eating a piece of fucking birthday cake, son.
Could you imagine? Now picture this with Thanksgiving that just happened.
Yeah.
You get your pumpkin pie, sitting there, and instead of the Cool Whip you put on top, you get some of that Oreo fucking cream on there.
Damn, man.
That would be so good.
That'd be stellar.
God. Oh, I would nonstop eat.
Dude, I would jizz every time.
Exactly.
I would be a jizzless man because I would be dropping fucking loads.
That would be awesome.
Because I'd be dipping fucking breadsticks in Oreo cream. That's what I'm fucking talking about. So, and I feel like I'm not alone. Now, there's going to be some douchebags.
There is.
Who will come forward and they'll be like, I prefer regular Oreos. All the others have too much cream in them. I think maybe even to some regards, my sister is this person.
No, she loves the.
Is she at least fucking with the next up?
Yeah, I think we do the whatever's up from the double stuff.
Okay, that's what's up. Yeah, I like that.
But it sucks because you just don't get as many. So sometimes we do buy the double stuff simply in the fact that we share the pack of Oreos.
Well, yeah, because you can't afford to buy 2 bags of the fucking biggest or most stuff or whatever the fuck it's called.
Right.
It's $10 fucking dollars for a couple packs of cookies that there's 15, 20 cookies in.
Well, and the thing is I would pay more money for the special cookies party size if I got the same amount of cookies as I got in the original.
That's exactly right. Because in my mind, I can quantify that.
Exactly, yeah.
I'm saying, okay, it's $3.99 for regular shitty Oreos. I have no problem paying $6.99 for an equal size pack of a better cookie.
Right, exactly.
I'm fine with that. Price isn't what hurts.
Right. It hurts when it's $6.99 for the same size packet and you get like 100 less cookies in it.
Exactly.
Or whatever is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, no, man, I totally get it, and it fucking kills me.
I know.
Now, there's people that are going to say the regular Oreos are the best. They're the best. There's too much cream. There's too much. Blah, 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 blah. Those people are fucking liars.
I know, because
nobody likes nobody's preference. If you lay out a fucking tray of cookies and you have a regular Oreo and you have even a double stuff, we'll even go fucking mid-range with the just double.
Right.
And then you have a fucking animal cracker or some shit as your third option. Nobody's going to that regular Oreo. They'll start going to the regular Oreo when the double stuff is gone.
Right, exactly. So I would say probably 9.5 out of 10 times picking the double stuff first.
Yeah.
And if you don't, then you deserve to be in an insane asylum.
Absolutely. Then you shouldn't be listening to this podcast.
Exactly.
We're better than you.
Yeah.
Get the fuck off here.
Exactly.
That's what I'm saying. So I really wanted to bring attention to that. If you work at Nabisco, please shed some light onto why this is.
Honestly, if you're Nabisco, just get rid of the normal Oreo.
Yeah, get rid of
Make the double
Oreo.
stuff the base.
Dude, I'll pay $10 a bag if I can get 100 most stuffed Oreo cookies.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care. I'll pay what you want. You can overcharge me.
Exactly. Yeah,
they're $15 a bag. That's fine.
I'll be
like, oh shit, that's $15.
They're probably like a penny.
Yeah,
to make one cookie. Like, it has to be, the markup's incredible.
Yeah,
sure.
Well, that's exactly why they do it with the quantity that they do, because they're hoping you'll buy 2 bags of them.
Yeah, that's
and
true.
They'll just double what their takeaway is, and that's
just corporate America.
Horseshit.
It's just shit.
Get rid of fucking regular Oreos. They're obviously not selling well because you're peddling a new flavor every 6 weeks.
Well, and sometimes you go to the store and all there is normal Oreos, and you can tell nobody wants to buy them.
Nobody fucking wants them.
Yeah, you get desperate though sometimes, and you have to buy.
Dude, I haven't had a regular Oreo. 1998. No joke. 1998 was probably the last time I had a regular.
Probably when I was a kid was the same thing, because I don't think I don't know. My family, I think, always fucked with the double stuff.
If you're fucking with regular Oreo, It's because you live with a geriatric patient who is old and can't handle a bigger cookie.
Yeah. Exactly.
Or you're with a child who you're trying to watch how much sugar intake. And if you're buying regular Oreos for your child because you're trying to control their sugar intake, don't buy them fucking Oreos.
Yeah, exactly.
Stop buying shitty Oreos making people like you and I suffer.
Right.
Just don't buy Oreos.
Exactly.
Get some fucking cheese and crackers from Sargento and feed that to your fucking child. Don't give them a fucking dumbass regular Oreo. I'm getting pissed.
I know. You are getting.
I can't do this. Maybe this is the only time we do this segment because I didn't know I'd have such an emotional response.
No, I think the people will love this. They're really seeing what gets you fired up.
This is it, man. This is the shit.
I love it. Man.
You don't stand with Ukraine.
I know.
Well, some bitch. I don't stand with fucking Nabisco right now.
Oh,
okay.
There we go.
I'll go fucking Walmart brand.
Let's tear them down.
Let's light it up, man. If you live near a Nabisco factory, fucking set it on fire. I don't give a shit. Come get me. Come get me, Law. Come on, John Law. Come get me. I don't give a fuck.
And tomorrow we're going to be arrested because there will be a factory on fire.
Yeah, and it'll all be to our small podcast here in Southwest Ohio. All right, so that's been another episode of Beards and Beers, man. Another one in the books. Grant, why don't you tell the fine folks where they can find us?
So you can still find us everywhere you can for now. We are in the process of potentially switching our host sites. It's taking a little bit more time than I thought it would. I think it's because I don't really know what I'm doing, but I have figured it out. And I think probably by this episode, I would say we'll have a new hosting site, but that'll just mean a different website, which we'll eventually get the link for, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, hopefully you'll still be able to get us Spotify.
Oh my
God, my phone is recording the entire thing that we're talking about right now.
Holy shit.
Hopefully you can still find us on Spotify, iTunes.
You definitely will be able to.
Amazon Music, all those things. Hopefully you'll still be able to do. And then, I also wanted to take a moment. I meant to do this a little earlier and somehow missed this on the sheet that we're going off of. But, we've been getting a lot of cool swag.
Ooh, yeah, we have.
And I know it's your sister that's doing the swag for us. So I thought maybe we would take a moment just to give her a shout out.
Yeah.
Because now she's kind of experimenting with doing beards and beers glassware.
Yeah. I need to get her maybe she gets like a company name and we'll throw that out there for her. Maybe she starts doing a side hustle with that because she's real good at it.
She is really good.
But yeah, she made us our koozies that are in a couple pictures on our Facebook page.
Yeah.
Which is just Beards and Beards podcast, right? Is that the name?
Yeah. And then there's one that says no homo, which is my absolute favorite thing ever. Oh, you're talking about the website.
The Facebook page.
Oh, yeah, the Facebook. Yeah, it's Beards and Beers. Just fucking Google us. We're everywhere.
Yeah,
We've spent more time getting our brand out there on the interweb than we have on actually recording content for it.
Exactly, yeah.
We're everywhere. But yes, it is Beards and Beers on Facebook. You'll see us.
Yeah, so you see those pictures, and then maybe we'll get a picture of the glass that she did. I think I
thought she did 2 glasses. I took the glass like an asshole thinking that you had a glass.
Yeah.
So I took the glass that you showed me. It's a fantastic glass. I use it all the time. I put juices and beers and all kinds of stuff in it. So, but yeah, she did a bang up job, and these are all things to kind of tie back to our peace outs for the episode that we can offer on Patreon. If you want to subscribe to our Patreon, get yourself a koozie, get yourself potentially a glass. We're going to be recording some mini episodes for the Patreon.
We are, yes.
So please visit Patreon and search for Beards and Beers. If you want to contribute anything, I mean, even 50 cents will do something for you. Maybe Grant will show his brown eye or something. I don't know. We'll do something for you. At the very least, give you a shout out on the podcast. So be sure to rate us, like us, send us a message on Facebook, call me. My phone number's on there. Send a telegram, send something via courier pigeon. I don't give a shit how you get in contact with us. Just let us know what you like to hear and what you'd like to see more of. If you have any beers that you want us to try on air, Grant is spending a lot of time kind of composing a list of products that we review on here so that, we can share that on Patreon, and any of our supporters can get on there and see the beers that we have tried and what we recommend. So be on the lookout for that as well. Anything else that you want to say there, Grant Boy?
I think you pretty much said it all.
I normally do. All right. So
Not wrong.
So here's to another episode.
Yeah.
See ya.
Yeah, baby, yeah.